Morning. I want to bring you some truth about somatic experience. It's a very complex subject, and I'm sure you've seen on internet lots of courses, lots of people offering. Some are going for thousands of pounds, some are going for $4.99, and you're thinking, what's the difference? Yeah, but really, you probably want to be thinking, what's involved? How do they help us reach a somatic healing, and what's in it, right? How does it work? And I want to bring a series of videos to help you understand this, because I see quite a lot of, there's a trend, it's an influx, it's out there, everyone's talking about somatic, it's on everyone's language now. But really, do you understand what it means and how to use it? Because it's not harmful to use it. It won't cause you any harm. It won't bring you any discomfort when used properly. And it can bring nervous system regulation, healing. It can, absolutely can. But when used accordingly, how you're supposed to use to reach that healing, then it can bring you to that point. If you're only using when you need it, if you're only using to self-regulate here and there with no protocol, not necessarily a protocol, but no specific understanding how to utilize in a way that gives you long-term changes, you're only going to get temporary changes. And we are going to get stuck in having to use it all the time. Anxiety comes up, and then you use it, you feel better. Anxiety comes up, and then you use it and you feel better. And this is the cycle they want to break, because it could be overriding. You could also be overusing something in a way that is not giving you long term. And again, we don't know what would happen if we are overusing somatic exercises in a way that does not bring long-term changes, how you're going to be conditioning your body. So what I would suggest is there will be a series of videos here. I'm just going to bring you understanding about somatic healing, so that you can be informed to choose a course that provides you with the elements of safety that is best for you. And I hope to see you soon. There's a difference when using somatic exercises for relief, and there's a difference when using somatic exercises for long-term nervous system regulation change. There's a lot of courses out there, and I want you to be informed. I want you to be able to understand what are you choosing when you decide to get one, when you decide to buy one. And I will bring another video with a list of prerequisites that keeps you in a safe course. But for now, I want you to understand that there is a difference. There is a difference how you use and how often, and in the moment, the right moment that you use these somatic exercises to actually give you just a temporary relief, or to actually create a routine that brings the nervous system to a safe point, and then through that safe point brings the nervous system to make changes. Because when we're using a certain way, and through the day, through the night, 3 a.m. in the middle of the night, we are using the somatic exercises, and then it gives you a little bit of a regulation, gives you a little bit of relief, and then your emotions come up, your anxiety come up, your nervous system dysregulate again, and you use it again, bring it down. But there is a certain way that we can work with the nervous system, and it's not the same for everyone. It's about understanding the best way for your nervous system, how to use the somatic exercises to then bring long-term changes. Because what you want to be able to do is, If your level of anxiety is here, you want to regulate fully that one time. Regulate fully. And just using somatic experience is only a way to enter the nervous system. And that's not enough. It's a temporary relief. When you enter the nervous system and your nervous system comes down, from here you are inside your nervous system. What do? And this is what most people are not doing, because they are doing the vagus nerve exercise, the regulating the nervous system with somatic stretches, somatic yoga, somatic movements. And they're getting to this point. But how are they saying to their nervous system that they're safe, so that the nervous system can then down-regulate even further with what you're doing for the nervous system, and then be able to stay regulated for the longest time? Okay, we live in a life where we're stimulated all the time, and that's going to happen, and it's how it's supposed to be. But it's being able to use somatic to enter the body, bring the body down. From there, bring the nervous system down. And when we are using somatic exercises for just temporary relief, we're entering the body, we're relieving the body, and then we're coming out and we're leaving the nervous system open. And this is where my worries as a therapist is, that most people could be entering this space and not knowing what to do. And you need to be in a course where you understand what to do once you use somatic exercises to enter your nervous system, because somatic healing seems like a full word that heals everything, and it is. But when you put somatic in front, we're only talking about the somatic part of that. When we put emotional healing in front of healing, we're only talking about the emotional healing. So we want to be able to make somatic healing not just a temporary relief for how the body feels when you are going through anxiety, nervousness, fear, sadness. You want to be able to use that to enter the nervous system, and you probably are entering the nervous system and not knowing what to do, not even understanding that you're there, with a huge window of opportunity to be able to then regulate the nervous system from there. Somatic is a bridge to your nervous system. It's not the whole thing. So this is my just videos about helping you understand this. And I'm bringing again some ideas of somatic healing. I want you to understand what to look for in any courses that you buy. I've seen thousands of courses out there. Some cost thousands of pounds and some will cost you $4.99. You can even buy a book with all the explanation in the world. But when it comes to navigating through your nervous system, we need guidance. We need guidance, and I would suggest that you look for courses that you have, if you're going online, that you have support, live support, that the groups are not humongous, where you feel like, the live calls are short and, makes you feel, will I have time to explain what I'm experiencing so I can understand and be guided? Will the speaker be able to speak to everyone? All those elements of worries when you enter a course like that, it's already a blockage for you to experience healing. So if you're going to a huge workshop with many people to understand somatic healing, that's one thing. But if you're going to a healing experience, either in person and online, you want to make sure the groups are small. You want to be able to feel that you're going to be heard, that you're going to be guided, and that they'll be able to pick up where you're at and then guide you into your nervous system. Also, I want you to look on these online courses that they're not selling a step-by-step or protocol, because at the end of the day, we're all different. We all enter the nervous system at a specific point of safetyness. And if your safety is different than somebody else, it will be very difficult to work through a large group like that. And also that there is a lot of educational information for you as well. You want to understand and be able to recognize in yourself when you're off the phone call, off the live call, off the course, that you're able to find and understand what you're going through with your nervous system. Is your nervous system regulating after you use somatic experience? Are you entering your nervous system and able to use that window of opportunity to then go even deeper? Do you have the space for it? Do you have the time for it? And that the workshop is offering a safe space, because the moment you have that safe space, either at your home or in a workshop, your nervous system can enter that safe space and actually down regulate and follow through with the finalizing the process of down regulation. So every time you reach that down regulation, you're giving the nervous system a reprogramming, right? And every time you reprogram, your nervous system learns how to use that down regulation the next time you need to down regulate. And it's all very organic. We don't create down regulation just for down regulating. The nervous system can only downregulate if it's overstimulated, and then you need to be able to understand what that feels for you to be able to use the somatic experience, lower the activity in the body, enter the nervous system, and then from there work the downregulation of the nervous system. So I'm here just to share information, and I hope this is helpful. This is for all of you doing somatic exercises. And I have a few questions. So while I'm speaking, if you can get pen and paper to write down, or I'll put the questions down on the description box. I had a chat with the patient, and very proactive, and being told there's nothing could have been done for her situation. She would have to live with it for the rest of her life. And she said, no, I'm not. I'm going to find ways to help myself. And of course, the trend today is somatic healing. So she's experiencing and practicing somatic healing. And after I asked a few questions to find out how is she using the somatic healing experience, I realized that, everything she was doing was okay, was helping her, but it wasn't creating long-term changes to the nervous system to then be able to make changes back into the body. So the word soma means body. Somatic means we use the entry point of the body to reach the nervous system and make changes to the nervous system. And then back in that chain, the nervous system then sends the message, a reprogrammed message to the body to then help you make changes to the body. And that's how people are healing from chronic pain, tissue damage, and recovering inflammation, all sorts. But my questions to her, one thing that she actually came up and said, I really didn't realize this is how what I was doing and how it's supposed to be used. And I want to ask a few questions for you to just reflect, because it's very important that you understand that you are what you're doing and what's happening. And this is going to be very helpful for you. So the first question is, do you know when you feel that you need to use the somatic exercise to regulate your nervous system? What is the message in your body that you feel, that you sense, that you need to regulate your body, your nervous system? The next question, have you noticed if your nervous system is starting to self-regulate through the day in all the situations without you having to use somatic exercises to stimulate the body to downregulate? And another question is, can you recognize in yourself and others? Because when you are able to recognize in yourself, you're able to recognize in others very clearly when the nervous system is starting to get spiked, right? If the stimulus is getting too high and someone is getting a little bit imbalance of how the nervous system is reacting to a certain situation, that perhaps the nervous system could be reacting a little bit less. So, 3 questions. And if you can answer those, you're doing amazing with your somatic healing. Hello, Atlas. You're doing amazing with your somatic healing. If you're not, you're using somatic healing and you're getting temporary results, but not long-term changes. And I hope that this is helpful. Did you know that the biggest change that somatic exercises is actually helping you in making changes to your nervous system is? Okay. Of course, we are conscious human beings. We have a mind. And through the day is the time that we are able to recognize the patterns that we are carrying, holding, projecting, falling into, falling out of it, and this is the time that we are here able to make a decision to say, I'm going to use somatic healing for this experience to create this experience and to create this outcome. So this is the during the day section that you are going to be using your somatic exercises to create healing. But did you know that the response and the outcome and the change that you're going to notice to understand if the somatic exercise you're using to create healing in yourself, to reprogram your nervous system, reprogram your mind, your body, is going to be in the middle of the night. So if you are waking up at 3 a.m., at 2 a.m., if you're waking up, even if you're able to go back to sleep, fine. If you are not able to go back to sleep, or if you wake up several times, whatever happens that you are waking up, okay? It doesn't matter if you go back, if you don't go back to sleep, or if you wake up several times. If you are waking up, you're having an early cortisol spike. And the cortisol spike in your system is down to how much your nervous system was overstimulated, overreacting in a day. So the more you start to downregulate the nervous system when it's needed, not all the time, just for doing the exercises, for doing it, but when it's specific to downregulate the nervous system. And remember from my other video, you use somatic healing to enter the body, bring the body down so you can reach the nervous system, and then from here, there's other techniques you need to use to work with the nervous system to bring the nervous system to down-regulate. And if you're just using somatic healing exercises to get to the nervous system and then going away and doing what you need to do, you're leaving your nervous system vulnerable and open. So you're not creating change. And so what's going to happen is the sleep pattern is going to change. It's going to go through massive change. You could be awake all night for a night. You could sleep really heavy and wake up at 6 in the morning. You'd be like, oh my God, I haven't slept for that long in such a long time. But you're going to feel tired, heavy. And then another night could be completely different. You'd be waking up every hour. And then another night you wake up twice, but you fall asleep very nice. And you wake up very relaxed, feeling very healthy, that you had a healthy sleep. And then eventually the spikes, it starts to regulate to a specific point, which is about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, where it should be. Yeah, just about an hour before your body wakes up. So that's the normal way of the cortisol actually work to prepare your body to wake up, to survive. So when you are implementing the somatic exercises to regulate the body at the right time, at the right needs, bringing it down to your nervous system, entering your nervous system, doing another technique then to support your nervous system into a safe space to down-regulate, your body creates, your nervous system understands that it's safe to sleep through the night. So this cortisol spike starts to regulate, and it takes a few days to a couple of weeks if you are consistent in a day. If your consistency changes in a day, your night patterns will change as well. And that is one of the biggest way to recognize if what you're doing with somatic healing is actually helping. Whether you're doing on your own or in a course, perhaps this is the most important video for you to actually listen and understand, so that you can start to recognize in yourself and understand if what you're doing is helping you. And another question, when you bring your body down to regulation and you enter your nervous system, do you know what that feels like? This is another video. See you soon. I'm here working against Instagram algorithm because I feel like I need to let these videos come out all at once. And I'm going to send them a few times, okay? The same message, I'm going to be pressing that key really hard. Because as a therapist, I'm really worried. I'm really worried with this trend of somatic healing. And if you heard all the other videos I posted, you're probably going to listen to the same complaint, but through different aspects, different angles, different ways of looking, different POV, okay? But this is because I want to reach people through different aspects of their understanding. This trend should not be a trend. This is a therapeutic healing technique. And because it can be used all the time, it doesn't cause any harm to anyone. I'm not here to say, oh, be careful, or, nothing like that. But what I'm trying to say is the world as a mass, as a collective, because of internet, have never been so open to technique. We are in an era where everyone is talking about well-being, mental health. Everyone is talking about how can I heal myself, and inner healing, inner guidance, and self-healing. And a lot of people are entering that journey on their own. I'm one of those. And my journey was over 10 years, and it didn't have to be, okay? But, I venture alone, and I did it what perhaps I was meant to be able to do. And I've hit my head many times. I've learned the hard way. And, and today I look for guidance. I'm a therapist, but I go through all the therapists and different techniques of the ones I use to be able to reach places of healing that I cannot do myself. Because we are human beings, and we need connection, and we need that moment to find a safe place, to be able to open, to release, to allow. And the somatic trend is getting to everyone's talking about it. I'm in clinic and people are coming to me and saying, I'm doing somatic stretches, and and then when we go a little bit deeper to understand how they're using, it won't do any harm, but it's not causing long-term changes as it could. It's such a potential technique to enter your nervous system and make changes to your nervous system. Somatic healing is not a technique to make changes to your body. It's a bridge to use your body to enter the nervous system. When you're there, there's something else you need to do to be able to make the changes to the nervous system. That is long-term changes that can heal trauma, that can heal PTSD, that can heal all sorts, right? And it's incredible, it's amazing, it works. So I'm not here saying don't use somatic exercise, use it. But what I'm saying is, if the world now collectively have access to a therapeutic technique, somatic exercises, stretches, and all that, and they're using. I don't know how the nervous system is going to then create a new conditioning for that keeps you stuck in a temporary relief, so that it's hard to find and reach that point of long-term changes, because I've been using this metaphoric understanding. You use somatic exercise to enter your body regulates, you enter your nervous system. When you're here, there's another technique for nervous system down regulation that you use to then down regulate the nervous system. Every time you go from somatic to nervous system and down regulate, you are creating long-term changes. Every time you go somatic to nervous system, you could be doing quite a few things here. You could be leaving your nervous system vulnerable. You could be opening little kinds of worms, so emotional roller coaster, heaviness, and people are considering these to be released. And then coming away and not down-regulating the nervous system from here, but then coming away and being left to recover sometimes for a day or two from that. If this is happening to you, what's happening? Your body and nervous system, they have to then condition themselves for survival. So you're creating another layer of survival. And then you will need someone to guide you to bypass that or to work through that. So we don't know how much the world is now using somatic exercises and how many of them are actually reaching the points of bliss and release and healing, and how many are letting themselves open and then re-traumatizing themselves, mistakenly that information for release, and eventually reconditioning the body and the nervous system to create another layer of survival. And that is my worry.